bad this is on my network. We're on all three now, I think. That's funny. All right, I don't know if we're actually live. I know we are on Twitch, so I don't know if we are live on the other three. Let's see. Looks like YouTube is. Wow. And maybe Kick. Yeah, look at that. All three of them. I don't have any music going or anything. It's going to be kind of boring just listening to me. I might put some music on just because. But we're going to do something a little different. Rather than playing games, I want to record myself doing this. What I should have done is put an actual source record so there's no picture of me up in front of it and it's just recording the image, which would be smart, but I didn't set up. So, do I? Looks like I'm offline on Kick. No, I'm online, but the dashboard showed offline. No, shows I'm offline again. Maybe it's a bandwidth issue because if I refresh the page, it's fine, and then it goes and says I'm offline. So I don't know if I'm actually on there. Only time will tell, right? But I don't think I can set up while it's going source recording. Let me see. I should have done all this. I kind of have. I was using Meld for a while. Yeah, I have it set to record just this. If anything, I'll just redo it. But basically, so it doesn't like my resolution. So I probably have to step that down now, which isn't going to be easy. It won't be hard, but I don't know if I want to do it right now. It's expecting 1080p. I'm sending 1440. And it doesn't like it. All right, well, fuck it. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I know I'm live on Twitch at least, so I can do that. And then I'll re record this if I don't want to. But essentially, as the title says, I decided to, because I have an old Stream Deck, but it always, run out of buttons. And I figured for fun, and because I've been doing, can't see it because of the, but uh, because I've been doing a lot of 3D designing, I've got a monitor right here, a little touchscreen monitor that I designed a stand for. I need to reprint. Um, I've been designing these like pistachio bowls, so like you can fill the top with pistachios and then drop your shells in after and while you're eating. So I got a few different designs of these, and I'm just gonna kind of print them. This one actually has like it closes so that you can potentially, if you wanted to, take it on the go, put your pistachios in the bottom, or peanuts or sunflower seeds or whatever, and then just take them and dump them out into here. And then you've got that's on the go, I guess. I don't know. Granted, there's probably something out there that's already done that, but I was able to design it within here. So, and just another version that I'm working on right now. It's kind of smooth, and instead of having the ribs, it's all embossed. As well as I got one that looks kind of like a wheel. So like a tire is what I figured with tread on the outside and then like a rim on the inside. And same thing, you just take out the middle and you've got all your stuff inside and you dump it out when you're done. It's more of one for just sitting on a desk. And here's like the locking bowl. This is the one that I just showed. So now it also when it locks, all the ribs line up. Like so I designed it off a little bit here. This was like my first one that didn't line up. Oh, I know I'm live on Kick. Um, so I had to, well, no, this one does line up. It was one of these. This one didn't line up. I just designed it all. And this one was just a bowl. So I have one on the back. It doesn't lock or anything. So the lid just comes out and just sits on the inside. I have one back there that I could show. And this one is just another one smaller with no ribs on it. And this was the original one I started with. I'd kind of put like a base on it, like a cup. Oh, I just realized I'm kind of making it hard to see anything that I'm doing on the screen. But yeah, so and then I kind of just iterated across the whole way. And I've been designing for a while and designing little things that I needed, like on my desk or around the house or whatever. But I want to. And this is only what I've done in Onshape. I'm learning Onshape now. This is the one that I just did, which I have videos and I have pictures of that I've taken. But this is essentially. Let's see if I can just show everything. It's essentially there's going to be a couple things in here that aren't lined up correctly. Like I think this, yeah, that's going to be wrong. That's wrong. But essentially, this is a NAS. It's a 4-drive. Let me get the panels off. Front two panels. Where are they at? Right there. So it's basically a 3.5 inch drive bay, and then this one can hold like 6 2.5 inch drives. I just did it for support really and kind of continued it for support. But essentially it's just a full 3D printed case that I made for a NAS. So it uses a micro ATX motherboard, a oh, what are they called again? I already forgot. Is it a mini PSU, micro PSU, PSX, SFX PSU. Um, so smaller PSU or power supply has a single fan that kind of blows over the drives. Yeah, it just kind of fits. Took me a bunch of hours to design. There's a lot of holes for screws and some magnets for holding the sides on and some feet. Everything's labeled so when you're printing it, you know where things go. This is the original design I had for the top. Um, this is my new design, which I think is much cleaner. If it'll load, it may not load. Yeah, it's not loading any of the features or anything, so I don't know why it's not loading. And then like here's the drives, and then you can turn on the SSD. I don't know why they're not sitting together. And then here's the 2 drive bays. Everything was just to make sure that it fit. I don't know why this one's not loading. That kind of sucks. And I think this is one that I just started on. Yeah, this one I'm actually trying to make it smaller. So you see here, I only have one 2.5 millimeter drive, which I'm probably, or 2.5-inch drive, which I'm going to probably make more of. I got the SFX power supply turned 90 degrees, so it's pointing towards the drives. So it's not, because this way is longer and it's not buttoned up against as much stuff. And then kind of just moved everything and shrunk it down. The other one was like 13-inch by 13-inch, so this one's more of like 10 by 11, I think, if I remember correctly. But this is my new style. I need to go through after printing a couple of things and adjust these dovetails. They're not going to be tight enough in this current configuration, so I need to fix that. But I did print these. Yeah, so finally loaded. This fit fine. Before I put the chamfers on the edges, or the fillets on the edges or on the corners, um, it fit really, really snug and worked really, really well. A lot of these cutouts are just to save material, because this thing is like, if I remember correctly, like 10 millimeter thick, 12 millimeter thick. Um, so it can use a lot of filament. So yeah, that's it. So this one took me many, many hours. I'm hoping that this is similar. If I Hey, what's up, Kimmy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm showing off this. So what I'm planning to do is, and you can still see my hands, I decided to buy I don't know if you can see it, away from the camera, up over here. So it's a Stream Deck module. So it's a 32 module, or 32 button, instead of the 12 I have, or 15 or whatever. Um, so I decided I would design you get this for cheaper, like it says 199 on it, but it didn't cost me that. This is cheaper than buying an actual Stream Deck XL, because it just comes, and let me do this. It just comes with, like, basically, it basically just comes with the inside of a Stream Deck. That's it. So it's just like the screen, the buttons, and the electronics on the backside needed to properly configure it. So I figured, because, like, I was just showing off before you hopped in, I had just made like a network attached storage, like basically a PC or CPU case, or a PCU case, a PC case. Holy cow. I made a case for a computer that's very specific to my network attached storage. So many drives, and has ventilation, and has all that stuff, and it's smaller, so it fits in a shelf on by my desk. Um, so I figured, why not buy that? And then I could design it however I wanted. And if I don't like the way it is, I can always just design something different. So very similar to like what I did. Where did it go? Where's it at? There's my monitor light, camera mount. Where did it go? Did I delete it because I didn't like it or something? No, monitor case. Here it is. So I have a 10-inch like touchscreen monitor on my desk. So basically, I designed this to put the monitor in. So I'm going to do something very similar with this Stream Deck, where I can have just, a back, and print it and just have it on my desk. It'll look a lot like Stream Deck XL, I think, to start with. But my plan is to find a good way to incorporate it with this, so that I can maybe attach it on the side, and then I have both of those things together on the desk, and it's like one panel. Um, but who knows? I don't know how long I'm going to do this. This was more of a, oh, I'm over here showing stuff off that can't be seen. Um, but this is the monitor case, and like I said, I want to kind of conjoin it, and find a way to kind of have them be like a single panel, where it's got the monitor as well as the Stream Deck XL. So, but that's my plan. That's what I am doing. So for this one, I am going to design a Stream Deck case, I think. I've never done this with people watching me, so it may go well, it may not. But basically, they give you the files that you need to be able to have a mock up or a model of the actual device that's in the box. So now I can build a case around it. Probably put like an angle on the back. So like if we look at like a regular Stream Deck XL, so it kind of has, oh, you can't really see the back, but it's got that little bit of a curve back there. So I'll probably find a way to mimic something similar. Maybe a similar angle to that, so I can have something similar. It again won't have any Stream Deck branding on it. They don't have any actual side shots of it. They've got it laying down. Let's see if I can find one online. I don't like DuckDuckGo. I don't know why the fuck it's using DuckDuckGo. Let's see. Image. There's a side profile. So I could do something similar. I could even have it just like this, where the back clips in and clips out. But I'll probably just build it to the size that I want it to be. Like the angle I want it at, rather than like clipping in and clipping out. I didn't find any good. I kind of knew what that angle was. Wonder if I can get a good picture of it and I can pull it in, get a pretty good angle on it, then maybe use that for figuring out what I want to do with the angle on the back. But I'll probably just do something really really similar or simple, something like this. That's even a 3D printed stand for two of them. But I also have to make the case that goes around it. So that's gonna be the initial idea. Let me turn these lights down because I'm not showing anything off on the desk anymore. I'll just do it by. So, that's the plan. I'm stalling because I've never done this with any potential for anybody to actually see what I'm doing. So, oh, that's actually kind of cool. It's mounted to the side of a, looks like it's an aluminum extrusion. I don't know why you'd mount it to the side of like a printer, but yeah, so that's the plan. Let's get back into it. All right. I wonder if I can create. I've never done it. I wonder if I can create a. I can create a sketch directly on that, right? Yeah, it's directly on it. So my thought is, because these holes are here, this can be a way to center it, and each of those holes are 4 millimeters. That's not bad. So let's do this. What do we call this? Center guides, I guess. Hole guides. We'll just call it hole guides. Probably don't need to do this, but if I don't do it now, so my tolerances usually are, I don't know, 0.15 when I print something. So if I, that's 4 millimeters. So if I make uh my post, I don't know, like 3.85, even just 3.8, 4 mil hole, just for tolerance. Okay. So I got that. We're going to go with what, a length. I'm not going to change this much, but we'll do that. And then height and a width. Let's just get the front piece made. So I figured we're on there. I'll figure out what those sizes are when we get into it. So if we do, can I do from the center of this? Is it centered? I don't think it is. No. Okay, so we'll do, I'm going to go from over here. Okay, let's see. How long is that? Is 167.9, 101. So from here to here is 168.9. So if I do 170-ish, so that should be enough. And then the height is 102. So if I do 103, I can like narrow this in. This is kind of just a base. All right. And then the width, I don't really know yet, but it's going to be whatever it is from this top line to at least that line. So that's not 143 millimeters. I can tell you that right now. Let's do this. Let's do that. That to that. That is 22.18 millimeters. So we'll just do 23. And we'll put 22.18 actual measurement. That way I don't forget. And actually, let me redo this. That is 102.64. And then I can't do that one from here. I got to do it from here. So it is that to that. So wait, I just did that. I'm a dummy. See, this is why. It's this one. That, let's just do the whole thing to that, is 168.9. Okay. So now I know I at least have the original or freaking stuffs. What can I think? The original dimensions. For some reason, I couldn't think. It happens. It happens. And then really all I got to do is I just got to account for the USB cable coming out. I think if I recall correctly, let's look at this again. Huh, I was just recording. I should have looked to see. And then if I open this up. See, this is why I turned the earlier I turned the camera or the lights up so that you can see on the desk. I'm actually going to make a light that goes along the bottom of my monitor that'll shine straight down. So if I ever want to show anything off on my desk, I can. But if we pull this out, so see, it's just the buttons, and then it's got like the back, and then it's got a USB-C right there. So I just need to make sure. So that's the top, that's the bottom. Yeah, so the USB-C will go out this way, which will be the right direction on my desk that I want the cable to go. So that's perfect. And I think I should be able to just drop this back in. It kind of catches in there, but I think that's just because of how I took it out. Let's put it's not really crafting, but more maker stuff. More maker stuff. They were even nice enough to put like all the different dimensions and stuff on the back of the box. I think it was on 20. I don't know. We'll find out. And then my little light back there, I made that one too, along with the Caleb Williams things directly to the my right, your left of it. So just some fun stuff. That's it. Fun stuff. Okay, back to this. All right, let's do something. Sorry, a little bit of a detour. Family pop in to see what I was doing. Okay, back to this. Guess stare at my hands doing this, but who wants that? All right, so I'm probably not even going to end up doing a length and width. I'm going to probably end up setting a distance more so. So then you just hit D on the keypad and it allows you to do that. So if I do 0.5 mm there and 0.5 mm, is it going to do half? Is it going to run? Oh, no, it did. Okay. I think 0.5 mm is going to be 2. Why didn't it? Oh, I got to go the other way. There. Minus 0.5 mm there. So I don't need it to be super tight because I'll have these guide holes. Um, So I'll figure it out. Right now, I'm just kind of I'll make it as close as I can to what, okay, it needs to be the negative one. And then this one will likely just line straight up. Nope, it needs the negative also. That's interesting. I guess it's got to go past, so it kind of makes sense, right? I'll probably chamfer the edges or fillet the edges a little bit just to make it not be as. I feel like it's going to be a little tight, but this is going to be the outside wall. So if I want to offset this, 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 I'll bring it out what? 5 millimeters? That should be fine, no? Make it 5 mil thick as it goes down and around. Yeah, that should be fine. And I did 6. Let's do 5. Just for now, I can adjust this. Let's add that actually as a thickness so I can change that. It's not going to be the bezel because the bezel is going to come in. Because basically, what I'll do here, you know what? I'm just going to create it. What I'll do is another offset, and I'll do it from that not that line. I guess I could have just offset. That would have been smart actually. Instead of doing what I did and drawing a box, I could have just drawn straight off the actual side. I'm still learning. I've been 3D designing things like my rings and stuff for a while, but um shit, I made it where this camera can be mounted where it's mounted. I don't know if I have them still. So like I had an old mic arm, but it didn't work well with the camera I got because the camera can look down at the desk like I was showing. So I redesigned, and these aren't even the final product. The final product, basically, I cut off this entire front, and it kind of just it screws in like back here. But it's got this ability to tilt, so I can tilt it and give it more angle, so the camera doesn't pick up like itself. But I've been doing a lot of making things around the house that we need, along with printing random things like little toys and stuff like that, and giving them away. Usually, wanted to sell them. Haven't worked up the courage to do that yet, which we need to do next because that could be fun. But we're going to offset this, and this one I might not be able to use an offset. I might have to actually draw because I want. Yeah, it's not going to work. All right, so I will need to do this. I want to do something that's pretty. Why did it do that? I don't know why I did that. That's weird. All right, so if I go, I don't want it to be that close. And up here it can be but I want it to kind of be uniform. So we can do the this to this, that's 0.5. What if we do 1 mil there? This to this can be 1. And we can adjust that because I don't know if that's going to be 1 mil. And this to this would be 1 as well. So I think that's probably a little close. We can probably do, let's do, we'll just, this isn't going to be a best, but right now it's 1. So if we change this to bezel distance, and last one. Might not, I want it to be equal distance from the buttons, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. So what if we do 3? See, and that comes down too far on the bottom. So it's almost like I'm going to need a uh bottom bezel. I put that at like 2 mil. See, and that way it kind of goes there because I want to keep these holes behind it, but I'm going to also like that. So that will allow me to watch. Let's just extrude everything up now. So now if we extrude this should be it, right? Yeah, just those 2 pieces. We're going to go up. Let's do bezel. Wow. Why did it do that? Bezel, but width, I guess. It's more of like a depth, but and let's just do what? We'll do 3mm for now. See, I don't really want it to be too much higher than the buttons. So what if I do 1 mil? Did I just go? I did. Son of a. All right, let's fix that. This is new. We are not adding it to the front. Okay, so I think that's fine. The holes are behind it, so I can use them as guide holes for mounting it to make sure it's in the right place. And then I can turn back on my sketch. Why are those construction lines? Oh, must have been because we were underneath. We're gonna go back. So what? It was 23 meters is the actual depth. So we're gonna do the opposite direction. 25 to start. We'll just actually do what's here. So I put it as weight. That's supposed to be width. Let's change that to. Yeah, let's change the name real quick first. Why did I put weight? uh, Width. That might be a little close. I don't really want to have the back of the case at all sitting on that. But yep, that should work. All right, so let's just do that. Let's see. So it added to that. So now we have the front of the case done. That was easy. We're done. Appreciate everybody. All right. So now, and this would be easy because I don't have to do angle planes or anything really. I just need to draw it off because I think this is probably best. And I can round everything over, make it more modern, so it's just not square. But I think I can just. I have to figure out what angle I want it to be at, and I probably want to extend down this front part or have it where when it's at an angle like this, it doesn't just have this like square. So maybe have something that comes down and meets over here, goes that way, and then goes up, maybe. But to start with, I'm going to build off of this. We're just going to build something that looks like something. Um, because it's going to have to be two pieces anyway, because I'll print the front. I guess I could print where the back closes where it looks like this and maybe give the back like a slight angle, kind of like the actual Stream Deck has. So if I uh so if I have this, like the actual Stream Deck, if it doesn't have this back on it, has a bit of a a taper angle, whatever, on the back. I mean, it kind of, kind of what I was trying to avoid. It actually like has a very flat front end. It's obviously a two piece, so I could even make it where it screws in this way because I have plenty of screws that can go into a heat insert, and I got plenty of heat inserts, so I could always have it screw together on the back, and then I can either like dovetail clip in like the actual angled piece, or I could just design it in there, but have it be a separate piece because you got to have a way to get the Stream Deck in and out. I build it a couple different ways and then come back to it. That's really what we'll do. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit of an angle, and I can actually have the angle come off. It doesn't have to be as harsh. It just has to get around this. So if I'm building off of here, how do I want to do it? Have it come. I think I need to. I don't know if these are going to be referenced. Let's see if I grab a line. Oh, it is. Okay. All right. So I could. Oh, I wonder if I got to look at this box, which means I can't see how thick. It's 12.5 millimeters at the base, 22.2, 103, and 169. What am I? How off am I on all these? 103. Wow, and that actually says it's exactly 103. it gives you some really good, and then 169. Yeah. So, I am good when it comes to. I got a millimeter on each side, half a millimeter on each side, which is what I was going for. 103. So if I look at, let's get this out of here. We don't need this right now. So if I look at this inner line, that is 103.64. So that's not quite half a millimeter on each side, I don't think. Because if it's exactly 103, that's gonna only be like a 30 seconds of an inch, or 30 seconds of a millimeter, which is again isn't a bad thing. I can deal with that because it'll be a little snug top and bottom, and there's nothing on it that is different. But 12.5 millimeters is what it is, thick on the bottom. So I essentially have to come out 12.5 at least. So let's do that first. Let's get rid of this one. I don't need these right now. I do need the part. Let's draw a line in here. First do a construction line. Let's get the middle of it. Okay, right there. Should be about right there. Yeah. We're going to go out 12 point. I keep saying what it is. What is it? 12.5. So we'll go out, we'll say 13, which is almost exactly what it is right now. 13 mil. All right. So 22.2. So if I come out to 25 ish at the top, that should give it enough room to do what it needs to do. I have to make sure I find a way to properly mount it in, is all I need to do. And maybe that's just like clips where it kind of clips in. Or I find a way to screw it in or I glue it in. I could even use hot glue. I got a lot of that. I do crafting, even if Crafty Kimmy doesn't think so. All right. So we're going to go here to there. And then here to there. Just to have the line. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. I might need it because I'm basically going to say go up. I'm going to pull it out a little further, I think, because of that module. That USB scares me on the back. Because I can't go straight through. Because if I went straight through to there, it would cut straight through it, and we can't do that. So there's probably a proper mathematical way to do this. I just don't know it. So I might start here and then come out, extend this out, maybe come like this down a little bit, kind of like what the design does for them. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, so that's fine. Do a new sketch on this side. Yeah. And I think I might have to reference it, but we'll find out. I really need to get a space mouse. We're going to come off of here. We're going to go down like 20. That should be good. That should help it clear. What should that be? What, a 60-degree angle, maybe? That should be fine. Now let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, I got to reference it. From here to there. That definitely isn't going to cut it off, so that's a plus. How can it move? The angles, oh, it's going to be length, I bet. Oh, nope. Drawing stuff I don't want to draw. Let's make this 22. So that'll make it a little bit more. Yeah, that'll definitely miss it. I could even, if I really wanted to, drop this down to 10. That's going to be really close. So let's do 15. Okay. I think that works. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be different for me because I've never done this kind of thing before, but I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go from here. Let's see. And then from here, I don't know how to get make sure that that's straight. I wonder if I can use like, can I say this line and this line both need to be horizontal? Nope. I did not like that. I don't know how to make sure that, I guess I don't have to make sure that that's straight. I don't want it to, oh, you know what I could do? Delete. What if I, that's not what I wanted to do. I could just go straight down. I could have it be I really need a space mouse. But that's the next thing I'm going to make. Let's just do this. Let's just go straight down. We'll go 90-degree angle down. So now what I can do is, let's see what happens. Doesn't go through anything important. So we'll do that. And we'll turn this back on. And then this will go through. This is probably not the right way to do it. Add. The merge scope is going to be that. We're going to go the other direction. And then we're going to go to this face. So now we've got this back that I can do that. And then let's get this out of there and this out of there. And if I get rid of those because they're in the way and they're annoying. Oh, I just need to go from, let's get rid of this. Select that and that. Open that back up. Do an E. Go the other direction. And through all. I don't need to go through at the top up there, though. Well, I guess to put it in, I might. So I don't know if I like that. Let's see. Let's get rid of that sketch, that sketch, that sketch, and that sketch. Let's look at this. I can print it like that. It'll be fine. I just don't know if I like that opening up there or that slit. But I could always have the piece that's gonna like be the because I have to put a back on this. And maybe that's where I'm overthinking it. Maybe I put this back on and I make that the back and then I split it at a different spot. Let's see what it looks like with it in there. Because I could have it like split right here all the way down. See how I don't like that. I'd rather that. Yep, I got to do it. Let's go. Let's just back up a little bit and look back at where we were at. So that's all the extrudes. No more a problem. I'm going to have the cord come out this side. So I'm not worried about that. I just need to make sure that the cord can fit through, which I'll just make the hole here a little bit larger. I could also add another USB-C module like that screws in here, and I have one small one that goes from here to here, and then another one that just plugs into the side like I would want. In all honesty, that's probably the way that I'd want to go with it because I want to be able to unplug this and plug it back in so I can use my other Stream Deck right here. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm new to this, so I'm just gonna it's trial and error to see what I want to do. So I have an idea. Let's see. I just don't want it to be this fat on the bottom. And maybe what I do here, you know what? I'm dumb. Here, let's just do this. I'm going to get rid of all this. Again, probably a better way to do this, but right, I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. And instead of, because what was my 1 mil? So I just need to go, what did I go back on this one? I did what, 13? Yeah, 13. So I just need to go 14 from here. So let's do a sketch on the bottom. We're going to do from the middle, which is right there. Hey, what's up, Turtle? How you doing? We're going to go 14. Hello. What's everybody all surprised about, huh? You weren't here for the beginning. So I have a Stream Deck, a regular one that's only 15 keys. Wanted one that was bigger. So instead of buying the XL, which is like $250 or whatever, I got the Stream Deck module, which you can't really see all that well because I don't have my lights on, but it's basically the insides of a Stream Deck. So I could design my own little stand and case and put it on my desk wherever I want. And then if I don't like it, I can change it without having to, take stuff apart. So that's what I'm doing right now is I have done a lot of designing, as I had said before. Watch, I'll show you. I have just in this one program, I've been designing against multiple programs, and obviously, I made all those chips, but I've been doing a lot of different things. Like I made this entire computer case for my network attached storage. So I designed all this and made it work and fully printed it. It's sitting over there working right now. I have a touchscreen monitor on my desk that I used this and made a little case to make it. So I decided, why not? And then since I'm doing this, usually for a couple hours on a Saturday while I'm designing all this stuff, I might as well stream it and see if I can record it and put a video up on how to do it, even though I know I'm not doing it right. What's up, Snake? How y'all doing? Y'all can hear me, right? I don't have like my headphones in. I'm not listening to anything. I've just talking. But yeah, so that's the plan. So now I got this Stream Deck, 32, 32 button to replace my 15 button. Got it for a fraction of a Stream Deck XL. And I'm designing a case, or attempting to. Attempting to is probably the more appropriate term because we all know. Um, oh yeah, that's what I was at. I want to go back to this, edit. We want to run a line all the way out to the edge because likely I could probably go even further just to make sure, but we'll go just to the edge on that side. And let's do it on the other side too, because I don't know which side I'm working off of. All right, so now I've got that. So now what I'm going to do and what I'm doing here, and let me do this. Let me show you again. So I'm going to have it be similar to this where it kind of comes off, goes down, and it'll be a two-piece just like this, very similar. Since this is my first attempt at designing it for this, I'm just going to get one that works so I can have it on my desk. And then my plan is I have this monitor, which I wish I could show you, but I can't pull it out. Um, my plan is to make it into like a panel. So it'll have the monitor here and then the Stream Deck here, and then it'll be just one panel. Whether I do that with wood or with 3D printing. 3D printing will be a little bit more difficult with wood. I could just take some of the walnut and or like cherry pieces I have in the garage and cut them up, use the router, and kind of make it into a fine piece of furniture. But I'm also going to be building a new desk in the next few weeks, hopefully out of maple, and maybe I incorporate it into that, and I just kind of build this like command station down here where everything just sits inside. Um, yeah, that's the plan. I don't have any music going or anything. It's probably not as fun. But my plan is now I'm going to stop that sketch and we're going to create the back. So I think we did this before. I think if I come down here and I put it on, we're going to do a 60-degree angle between here and here. I think that should be fine. That might be too much. And then we're going to take it from here to there. That is definitely going to be. Here, let's do this. So if I look at it from the side, I just don't want to hit any of this. So if I shorten that to there. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's make that. We'll just do that at 10. Let's call this what? I don't even know what to call this. What would this be? Depth, back mount. I don't know. Fuck it. It'll just be 10. I'm not going to have to adjust it. So we don't need a dimension for it or a variable. So now I should be able to get that. You know what I want to do first? That's good. So I wonder if I can do this easily. That stays, is that staying above the line? What if I do this and they need to be, let's go in here, edit, delete that. And then if I do this to this and they need to be vertical, that should set this line length. Oh, it was 10. Look at that. It was 10 mil. That was almost perfect. That means, hopefully, if I did that right, that means that it will not. I really need to figure out what all the shortcuts are for the keyboard, so I'm not having to go up and select stuff. Um, that means that if I extrude this all the way across and then I cut it out, it should match up. But I'm not going to do that yet. I don't think I'm going to do that yet because what I plan to, well, because I'm going to cut it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just see what it looks like. We'll try it. What's it hurt? I can just back it up. Um, Back it up. So let's do this. Let's extrude this. We're going to remove that. We're going to say all the way through. So that'll get rid of that. That'll get rid of that. Okay. Turn this back on and then we'll say extrude that. Add merge scope. It's going to merge to that, but it needs to go the other way. And we're going to say up to a face. Want it to go to that face. See how thin that is. That's not good. I might have to make this face a little. Maybe I do that. So I don't know if I did it right because I don't really want this cut out here. I want it to. Maybe I need to do this. So let's try this. So instead of cutting this out, because I can easily recreate that. What if I do this? What if I add that? All right, let's go back in here. Edit, add to this, add an offset. We're going to have it go. You know what I need to do is instead of going off this top point for this angle, I should go off this point, and then the top one can come out on top. And I can send that across, and then I'll have a back. Yeah, see, look, I'm learning. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to edit this. Okay, first let's back this up. We'll create a new sketch on this. No. This. And we're going to go from. It's a lot of trial and error for me. I'm not professionally trained. Bear with me, y'all. All right. From here to there. So we're going to make like a triangle. I might even be overthinking this. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I might be overthinking the shit out of this. Okay, so now we'll go back down here. And this point now. instead of being here. Delete that. We'll bring it down to here. Okay, whatever. I just broke everything. This will be the inside one. Okay. I think I'm going in the right direction now. So, 1 second. Hold on. I probably could have made this easier on myself, at least from what I remember. Okay, so there's that. I don't get why this is blue. What's off on it? Something's not constrained. I'll figure that out in a minute. But if I do edit, which way can it move? Oh, this is not. That's currently at 6. So if I say D and make this 6.5, yeah, that gives me enough room, right? That's enough room. Oh, what's up, Marvel? Why are you guys always doing that? Did I? Okay, no. All right. So I've got that there. And what I'm thinking I'll do now is I'll come over top. There's probably a shortcut for that with another one that's exactly 5 millimeters and it goes here. So I might be able to use offset that one. Okay. And that one. Okay. And then if I should be 5 mil. Oh, I could even just here, let's do this. Let's go back this way. Go off. Okay. And then we'll cut that. I don't need that. And then down here, wonder if I can pull this. Now everything is fully constrained. And now what I can do, again, I probably could have done this way easier if I had just made a trapezoid to start with, extruded it out, and then shelled it. But I think that this will work. So what I can do now is I can I can cut this out. And we'll say through all, so it should go all the way through. It does. Kill that. And then I should be able to now extrude that and that, as well as that. Extrude it, other direction. And we want to go through up to face. So now I should have, if I do this, I now have it enclosed. So now I'm just going to have to cut it and then create screw holes so that I can just screw it together. And this would be the base. Let's get rid of all these sketches. I guarantee I did that way more difficult than it needed to be. But I think we're getting to the same place. So if I hide this, and let's turn these back on. Let's check it and make sure. Well, we can do. Oh, you know what? I actually haven't used a section view at all on this. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. I got room. Barely, but there's room. So, as long as mine is the exact same dimensions as this, I now have a working case that I can split, like, say, right here. Actually, I need to, if I look at it from here, I could split it. Like, I could probably just go halfway through this one, which would be about right there, split it, and then I just screw in everything else. All right. We can get off. Oh, wait. I've never done that before. It stayed? Oh, that's cool. Huh. All right. Let's turn off section view. All right. So now let's hide this stuff because I don't want that to split because those are my models. And then what I'll do is right here, let's make a plane. Oh, shit. Look at that. I don't even need to. We're going to split it right now. We're going to do it. Let's split it. Split. We're splitting this part. We're going to use this. Look at that. Now we got two parts. We got one, which is the back, and two, which is the top. It's just that easy. I might have to make my bezels a little bit wider. Yeah, because I don't know if, where did I put them? Apologize, everybody. All right. So, so here are my heat insert threads. And they are, if I recall correctly, like 4.8 millimeter. The guide hole is 4.8 millimeters in diameter. So I made everything, I think. I also need to make the guide holes for the actual Stream Deck, but I'm not worried about that right now because that'll be pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So I think this is all 5 mil, right? We're gonna reference my case because that's where, yeah, those are all 5 mil. So I might have to. Where did I determine that? Is it here? Yeah. Oh, it's not really. I'm gone again. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with Kick.